Worm Hat. This is going to be a quick video. Somebody in the other video asked me how the phases of the moon work. And while I'm not 100% certain on how everything works out there, one thing that I'm certain of, and the phases of the moon I think is part of this, is that it's optical. It's optics. And well, what I mean by that is, let's just do the sun, for instance, or the moon. We can tell that they're really close. Just all the detail that you can see on the moon, it's really close. But it's really close for everybody who can see it. When I look at the moon, it's really close. But if we go across country to somebody, so I'm on the West Coast, let's say it's nighttime and the moon is out, up high in the sky. The moon is really close to me, but I can go all the way across the country and it's still really close for another person. Well, how does that work? It's optical. What we see in the sky, we're not actually looking at the object, the moon, up in the firmament. No. What we get is a projected image of the moon, and everybody gets their own moon. Everybody gets their own sun. The spotlight, it's observer dependent. Wherever the observer is, they will see the sun because of the optical properties of the firmament. And I guess if that explanation wasn't, I know that I can make this more clear and I can draw some pictures, and just imagine it like this. Imagine if you're underneath a snow globe and then you have a light that's on the other side of the snow globe. Well, if you're inside of the snow globe, what you might see is the bright light shining on your snow globe. You're not going to actually see the light itself. So maybe that made sense. But again, I don't have all these things figured out. But one thing I do know, it's optical. And the firmament itself is probably an optical device. What we see the sky, it's probably a projected image for us. We see the blue waters above. And let's just get to it, the moon thing. Look, this is looking through a microscope. Skeletal muscle under a microscope. See here's where I get into the thing of the phases. You know how sometimes on the moon you can still see the dark part, but then we have the light part? Here you go. It's like looking in a microscope. It's optical. There's something going up there that's optical. And it's not only microscopes. What made me think of this is I remember this as a child when I took classes and we were looking at things in microscopes. Sometimes it did look like this and I thought, oh, that's funny. Or sometimes looking through binoculars, you can get the same thing. And here you go. That's what's going on up there. I mean, you can ignore the pattern, but look at the shading that's happening. It's very... looks kind of like Jupiter, right? Just smudge it up in Photoshop a little bit. This is what the things in the heavens actually look like. But then they doctor them up. It's not what it looks like. It's not what Saturn looks like. Look at this, took a picture with my phone through binoculars. I thought it would be interesting to put my phone camera on the lens of my binoculars. I pointed it at the floor. There you go. Oh, is the floor three-dimensional? Is the floor a ball? Look at that. Pointed it at the floor and it looks like this. The moon is flat and so is the sun. Any alleged curvature you see on the moon, it's optical. It's just like this. You're looking through a floor, but you're looking through binoculars, which has lenses in it, and it can give you these types of effects. That doesn't mean that the floor was a sphere. Photo I took of a lake through the lens of binoculars looks like a planet. That's probably what the planets are. That's maybe why some of the planets are blue. Maybe we're seeing the ocean or something through some strange optical property of the firmament. Or Mars is red, you know? Maybe we're seeing some smudgy image of Australia. I don't know. It's an idea. All right, that's it. I'll keep this just an introduction because no, I don't have all the answers. But somebody asked, what do I think the phases of the moon are? I think everything up there is optical. And I think that it's just the properties of this place, and we'll figure out more. But I know that what NASA tells us is BS. So you got to think for yourself and read the Bible because the Bible is true. So we have a firmament, and outer space is pure fantasy. God bless everybody.